The Raptors, record-wise, are the second worst team in basketball, but we all know that talent-wise they're way better than that. What's going on with the Raptors? What can they do to fix it? And what moves can they make to put them back in maybe even championship contention, but for sure playoff locks? In today's video, we're going to talk about all of it. First off, I want to give a shout-out to Wavy Brazy and Derek Hipburn for requesting Raptors videos down in my comments. That was a couple days ago, and now I'm already on that. So if you guys want a video, make sure you shout it out in the comments, and I'll definitely get to it. I love doing these videos for you guys. That's obviously why I do them. So if you have a video, I'm probably already thinking about it. Just make sure you let me know in the comments. But without going too long on the intro, let's get straight into it. So first of all, we're going to talk about the Raptors themselves. 2-8 record right now, second worst in the East and in the league. But they're coming off at the time I'm recording this is Wednesday. They're coming off two back-to-back one-point losses, right? That's horrible. That could easily be 4-6, way better than 2-8, way more respectable. It's been the roughest start for Pascal Siakam, and as of late, we've seen him pick it up. I myself, if you go back in my NBA recap videos, have slandered the heck out of the Raptors. But they are making progress. They're making strides back to where they want to be. They wanted Freddie VanVleet to grow into this Kyle Lowry role, and that's just not Fred VanVleet. And I think that was hurting them a lot, especially now that Pascal Siakam is getting as much attention as he is, and Chris Boucher is not as much of a stretch the floor guy. He can stretch the floor for sure, but he is not no Serge Ibaka, and he's not no Marc Gasol, right? He's clogging up the paint so much for Pascal Siakam. It makes it so awkward for him. So much less space, so much easier to get ripped, and that's why Pascal Siakam's turnover is at an all-time high. The team just hasn't gelled together yet, and we're still so early in the season. I don't think it's time to give up completely on the Raptors, although I kind of did, low-key. But, let's go straight through the lineup. Kind of what they're averaging, just stuff like that, right? They're running the point with Kyle Lowry, of course, averaging 19, 7 assists, typical Kyle Lowry stuff, leading the charge. Fred VanVleet is averaging 21 if you round up. At the 2, OG Anunoby is 12.5 at the 3, Pascal Siakam 20.5 at the 4, and Chris Boucher is 14.3 at the 5. The thing I wanted to point out with Chris Boucher, one of the top guys in the league right now in blocks, 2.6 blocks per game. Perfect for the Raptors, the way he really developed, and he came into this role when it was time for him to become the starter. 14 points and 2.5 blocks, not bad at all, Chris Boucher. And Chris Boucher is not the problem. People are thinking, Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol left. That's the problem, and that's what happened in the offseason, but that's not necessarily the problem. And we're going to address that in a second. Then we get to the bench, right? The Raptors have been always a deep team, kill you on all cylinders. They can shoot, they can play defense, they will beat you in all ways, right? Malachi Flynn off the bench at point guard. Norman Powell is averaging 10.5, Terrence Davis averaging 7, and then at the bigs they have Alex Len and Aaron Baines, right? Aaron Baines to me was a great signing for them, and he hasn't been good. He just hasn't shot the ball well. But we know that will change. We know Aaron Baines is a certified shooter at the 5 position. He'll be able to stretch the floor. I seriously don't think the center is the problem. What I think the problem is spacing, and they need some creation, especially off the bench. You guys heard the averages with their starters, and they're not bad at all. And Chris Boucher can stretch the floor. It's up to Nick Nurse to run a system where the ball is a little bit more freelanced around, where there's a lot more space, and Chris Boucher can stretch the floor. He has that ability. Chris Boucher won't be averaging 14 anymore if he does make that change, Nick Nurse, that is. If that change goes through, Chris Boucher won't be a 14-point averager. But Pascal Siakam's numbers will go up, and it will be better for the team. But off the bench, I need you guys to make a trade for a point guard, a space-creating point guard, a point guard that can not only penetrate, but can shoot the ball, that will help out your bigs, Aaron Baines and Alex Len, get some space, get shooting ability, and be able to come in for Kyle Lowry or Fred VanVleet. And I had 3 players in mind: Derrick Rose, Ricky Rubio, and George Hill. George Hill, for me, obviously he was one of the best three-point shooters with the Bucks last year. He's had a fire start this year. I picked on him because his contract wasn't large at all, $9 million, pretty decent contract. And you throw the Oklahoma City a first-round pick. That's all they want for George Hill anyways. And I can almost guarantee you if you put a first-round pick there, they're going to take that deal. So it wasn't going to be too hard to trade for George Hill. On the other end, Ricky Rubio, $17 million contract. When I picked him, I knew it was going to be a long shot, but there's no way the contract works with him. But obviously, he can make the whole team better. I don't really see them needing Ricky Rubio, though. They just don't need an elite passer off the bench. What they need is a bucket getter off the bench. At the third guy that I picked and the guy that I really made the trade for was Derrick Rose. $7 million, pretty small contract, can do it with the Raptors books. Decently easy to trade for. I have them sending Malachi Flynn, the 22-year-old point guard. He's looked like a baller this year, guys. I know he has, but he's not going to make a real impact for you anytime soon. And if you want to be in playoff contention this year, this is the trade for me that best fits you guys. You don't want to give up any real pieces that is part of your rotation right now. Malachi Flynn, Stanley Johnson, and a 2021 lottery protected pick. And if this trade happens, I feel like that'll just end up being a 2022 pick that goes to Detroit. And by that time, you guys should be good. There isn't a lot of capital there, and I feel like the Pistons would accept this deal just due to the draft capital and a young player. Derrick Rose would give you guys buckets straight off the bench. You wouldn't have to worry anytime the bench unit comes out there. It'd be easier for Aaron Baines to get up some shots because honestly, right now, him and Norman Powell are the number one threats off that bench. And yeah, Aaron Baines isn't going to shoot the ball as well when he's targeted off the bench like that. I also think once Aaron Baines heats up, he's going to be able to come in for Chris Boucher, be able to stretch the floor more if Pascal Siakam is struggling offensively, give the ball to, or even if he's not, actually. If he's having a hot game and you need the ball, you need to give the ball to Pascal Siakam and move out the way. Aaron Baines can check in for him, check in for Chris Boucher, that is, stretch the floor a little easier. The pieces are here. You just need a backup point guard that's legit. Derrick Rose is that guy. I think that the Raptors will pick it back up. I don't know if they'll be a playoff team, maybe a play-in team. And it's definitely not too late to pick the record up. But at this point, there looks like there's so many good teams in the East right now. There's so many. It's so deep. And it really will be a dogfight to get in that play-in. And it will be a dogfight in that play-in. So I am super interested to see what happens. I want you guys to leave your thoughts down below with the Raptors. I know this video might have been a little bit boring, just simply because there's not a lot that they need to do. We see this roster. It's relatively complete. They just need a backup point guard. If you guys think they need to make a backup center move, you let me know. I could also see that. Aaron Baines has been complete bricks this year, and getting a backup center wouldn't be that bad. I can see a guy like, you need a guy that stretches the floor. That's the problem. Because a guy like Hassan Whiteside is cheap, and you can get him for super cheap, and he'll produce for you. But is that what you need? You need a guy that can stretch the floor, and at the end of the day, Aaron Baines is what that is. So it's just a matter of time, Raps fans. Hold on for a minute. I know the back-to-back one-point losses hurts. You could have won some of these games, and you could be in playoff contention right now. Just hold on just a minute. Some teams are going to get things, falling apart. Brooklyn just made that trade today. It's going to take a while for them. Things are going to happen. You guys are going to get back into playoff contention. Just wait on it. I'm saying just make a trade for Derrick Rose. Whoever's watching this, Masai Ujiri, you watching this, take my advice, man. This random YouTuber with 140 subscribers. Take my advice. Trade for Derrick Rose. I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Peace.